to the channel, everyone. Just recently got some new subscribers. I appreciate everybody's support. Had some people refer me to custom offsets, you know. I appreciate that more than ever. It really means a lot. It kind of motivates me to keep doing it, you know. As you guys can tell from the headline, you know, the cover photo, that something's kind of going on with the moving situation, and I guess maybe to start it off, I kind of just want to maybe introduce myself to the channel, you know, kind of get to know you guys, kind of get to know me a little bit better, and kind of sum it up. I don't really have a whole lot of battery life left, and I forgot my charger, so you know, when I was a kid, I grew up in the UP. You know, that's where I grew up, was up here, and my mom passed away when I was 5, so I lived with my grandparents up there for a long time, and I came downstate with my dad one time, and I just kind of never went back. You know, it was nice to see that there was more than 5 kids to hang out with on a daily basis, and school was big. There's a lot of people, and I lived with him for 10 years, you know, or 11 years. I don't even know how many years it was, but you know, when I was up north, I was always into the motors, you know, and snowmobiles and just outdoor stuff, dirt bikes, 4-wheelers, cars, and you know, I had multiple cars before I even had my license, and you know, just selling and trading them. I sold my first car to my buddy Kody for $160 and a 312 speaker box. Those are the kind of the stuff that I miss doing, and that's kind of why I wanted to start this channel, was to, you know, take pride in my truck and enjoy my, you know, the automotive life again. And I had a couple houses where I had a decent sized garage, and it was nice, but I never really thought about doing the YouTube thing. So the garage was just kind of you know, where I dinked around. You know, I was wrenching on stuff in the garage, doing some motor swaps, and I've worked on a lot of stuff throughout the years before I even started this channel. And you know, it was before I had kids, so I kind of was able to have a little bit more freedom and do a lot more stuff. But it's you know, once I started the channel, you know, after I had kids, and we were living in this, where we were at before we moved up to the UP, so I didn't have a garage again, which kind of sucked. And I was just really excited to find out that I got this job, and I moved up here, and like I said, I was kind of excited that I got this job, you know, because I've been ever since, you know, I kind of I don't know if I'd really say that I grew up, but you know, once my life kind of started to change a little bit, and I was getting back into working on stuff, you know, I had a time there where I was just kind of partying and hanging out with my friends a lot, and then I started getting back into the wrenching on things a lot and building cars. The Cummins that I got now is, I think it's my 60-something vehicle, or close to 70th vehicle, and you know, I've built a lot of cars. You know, I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse, and ended up putting a ton of money into it, and it caught on fire. And you know, I've had lifted Rangers and Mustangs, and you know, turbo this, supercharged that. I had a lot of cool stuff, and I did a lot of cool stuff with my buddies. You know, we were always just out mud bogging and breaking stuff and fixing stuff, and you know, I kind of wish I would have started the YouTube thing back then, because I feel like I would have had a lot more content for you guys, and you know, it probably would have went a little bit further. It would have, you know, I could be a little bit more something right now. And like I said, I was just really excited to move into this house. You know, I had a big yard and the garage, and you know, I could have everything that, I have a car in Flint, I have stuff in Flint, I have stuff downstate, you know, in the Sterling Heights area. I have a Jeep at my grandpa's, you know, I have a Blazer in a boat at my other grandma's, and I have a Dodge at one of my friend's house up north. Like, I just have so much stuff scattered around, and I'm so excited to have all my stuff in one spot. But I guess maybe it just like wasn't the time in my life to maybe move up here, because, you know, like we came down this weekend to get some more stuff to bring back, and you know, just like family problems and financial things, you know, that are kind of catching up on. It's just not really going to allow us to live up there anymore, and we've only been there for like a month. And my aunt had this house winterized, and I came in and winterized it and promised and swore up and down that we were going to be there for a while. Like, we were talking about buying it on a land contract, and which I think we still are going to do, so that way I can have something up north in the UP. Like, that's, my heart is up there. Like, I'm trying to not kind of be emotional. It's weird, but that's where my heart is set at. You know, that's where my mom's buried, my grandpa's buried, my cousins are buried there. Like, 90 or 80% of my family is going to be buried in the UP. And it was nice because my daughter went to the school that I went to school, or when I was a kid I went to school. You know, it was cool to see her go to that same place, and I feel like I probably could have gave you guys a lot more content on like a weekly basis. You know, I want to get into like uploading twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, and I was really excited for the winter because I wanted to pull my truck in the garage and take the axles off and redo all the suspension, the gearbox, and powder coat the lift and the axles, and just, I wanted to do a complete transformation on this truck over the winter and bring it out next summer, and like, you know, amaze myself, and you guys can follow along and get some good advice from you guys. And just, you know, like, there's a lot of stuff I gave up on life, or there's a lot of stuff in life that I gave up on in the past years, and I really enjoy doing this YouTube stuff, and I hope to like create a kind of like a social family here, you know, and just get really connected with you guys and get some good feedback, and, you know, I can do some stuff that you guys want me to do, or stuff that you'd like to see. And I just don't want to give up on YouTube. You know, I kind of need you guys' like support on this, because this is like, knowing that like I'm going back up north right now to just undo everything that I did in the last month is like, it's really crushing my heart right now. And I was hoping that, you know, my grandpa, you know, my grandpa that took me in, my grandma passed away in 2012, and my grandpa's still around. He's like 84, and, you know, my family up here don't have much of a relationship with my kids, and my side of the family I've created down here, and I just really wanted my kids to be able to like have more time with my family up here. You know, it sucks how I'm glad the way life worked out, but part of me is just kind of like, why, you know? Why do I have half of my family? Why is my family split 50-50, 5 hours away from each other? You know, why can't everybody just be in one spot? But, you know, it's just, I guess that's just kind of the way life works, and it sucks. You know, my dad's side of the family down here, like, our heart is set in the UP. You know, we're Upers at heart. Obviously, I got the license plate to prove it. You know, a license plate says it all. So yeah, I just, you know, kind of wanted to talk a little bit about my life, and, you know, what I like doing, what I have done. And I really wish you guys could have seen a lot of my older cars and my older builds and stuff that we've done. Like, I know every single car that I've ever gotten in order, and what I've done with them, and how much I've sold them for, or what I've traded them for. It's kind of crazy. And me and my buddy Kody, we keep a list of each other's cars on our phones, so that way we don't forget what we had. Like I started off with just a Dodge Ram, or a Dodge Dakota. It was a $200 truck. Never really even drove it, but somebody tried stealing it and busted out the ignition and spray painted it, and that's when the one I was telling you guys that I sold to my buddy for 160 bucks. You know, I got that, and then I bought a Saturn off Justin, buddy, Big Haas, and I ended up blowing that thing up, crashed it, sold that thing for a couple $100 bucks. Bought a Grand Prix after that, bought another Grand Prix, the same car. I bought a Dodge Ram, traded the Dodge Ram for a Grand Prix, a GTP. You know, I had a little bit of stuff done to it, and I could just go on, but I think I've had like 6 Grand Prix, and I think three Mustangs. I've had like 3 or 4 Rangers. I've had a couple Dodge Rams, Mitsubishi Eclipse, a couple Saturns. Like I've had a lot of different cars, like Blazers and Cougars, and I've had a lot of stuff. And I think by far the two or three cars I missed the most that I've ever had was my SRT4 Neon. That was pushing like right around 500 horse. It was running 28 pounds on a stock turbo. I had 1000cc injectors on it, a big fuel pump, bigger intercooler. There's just tons of stuff. I really missed that car. And my Mitsubishi Eclipse was probably my favorite car at heart. Like that was my car. That was my first turbo car that I ever got. And I remember when the first time I ever drove that car, you know, I was driving it down the road in the city, and you know, I was kind of just like driving it, you know, and shifting it real slow, and I could feel the turbo just like instantly spike. Like it was instant power. It was there, and I was kind of letting off the gas because it was kind of pulling me back a little bit. And the kid that I bought it from was like, "Hey, you know, you gonna get on it so you can kind of feel what it's like?" And I looked at him. I was like, "I'm not getting on it." And he goes, "No, dude, floor it." And I floored that car, dude. And that was an instant rush through my heart of like, okay, I gotta get this thing. So I ended up buying that for like $3 grand. And I put a big turbo and big injectors. I put all kinds of stuff in it. Yeah, that caught on fire. And yeah, the SRT4, that Neon. I think my 96 Mustang, I had a 4.6 GT, and that thing was pretty quick. And it was super clean. But I think that, and probably my Jeep. Those are probably like my top 4 vehicles I missed. My Jeep had a 10-inch lift on 35s, 15.5 wides, and it had a Dana 44 and a Ford 9-inch off of a Bronco, and the whole suspension, it was a Skyjacker lift. They actually used my Jeep for advertisement for a while, and everything was like custom fabbed on that truck, like to the axles, to the steering knuckles. Like it was just fully fabbed. And I ended up getting rid of that. I think I traded that for or no, I sold that for bought my Mustang. Yeah, I got my Mustang with that. Or no, I traded my Ranger for the Mustang. I sold the Jeep, bought the Eclipse. That's how I got the Eclipse. It's kind of cool, like how it worked out. I started off with like a $400 Grand Prix, and I traded that for a Saturn. Then I sold the Saturn for like $700. Bought a Dodge Ram for $1,000 with like my graduation money, and yeah, I sold that truck, or I traded that truck for a 97 supercharged, you know, GTP. It was pretty clean, and I traded that for the Jeep, and I sold the Jeep for $4,200, and then I bought the Eclipse for $3,300. So I walked away with just some couple bucks in my pocket, threw some money at it, did, you know, some headlights or whatever, and then yeah, it ended up catching on fire. But I just really wish that you guys could have been there with me and watched me grow from a $200 Dodge Ram or Dodge Dakota to a, you know, this Cummins, and you know, I ended up with the EcoBoost before this. I've had a lot, and I'm kind of talking to you guys right now just to keep my mind off a lot of stuff. You know, while I'm making this drive, I'm only like an hour into my drive, and it's just, my head hurts so bad right now. Just I'm stressing out, and you know, having to leave where I call that place home. You know, that's my home away from home. But like I said, we're gonna try and possibly talk my aunt into selling it to us, so we can kind of have our up north place. You know, when I was a kid and we still lived down here, my family always had a cabin up north. Yeah, it was right on the water. It was beautiful, and there was a single story cabin, and my dad put a whole addition on it, and you know, put a second floor or whatever, and just, he ended up going through some hard times in life, and my family lost it. And you know, we just been kind of like pulling campers and tents around ever since then, and it kind of sucks going from having like your own piece of property in the UP to like pitching tents wherever. And my family deserves it more than anything. Like, my family's been through a lot, and my dad, for sure, my dad deserves it more than anything. And you know, he's a good guy and just been through quite a bit. And trying to not get emotional here, I'm not really an emotional person, but you know, maybe if we can get this place for my aunt, like how we were talking, I'm sure she's not going to be happy with me when I get back up here and tell her that we're probably going to be leaving this week. You know, we can always, you guys can come on our trips with us and just kind of watch what we do. But not really sure what else I can say. I'm not trying to bore you guys with just like, you know, I'm not really doing anything on the channel right now, like work wise, because we're just bouncing back and forth between house to house. And like the house that we were at right now, or in the park, you know, I'm sure you guys can tell from the videos, it's in a trailer park. It's not really where I want to be, but it's the people in a trailer park that make it a trailer park. If you don't act like that, that's not what it is. You know, you just get the wrong people in there. And but the house that we had before that, you know, I had a garage, and I did a bunch of motor swaps in that garage. I did a 79 Trans Am, or a 77 Trans Am. I did a motor swap and a trans swap and an axle swap, and you know, I did a 4.5-inch lift on a Chevy there. I put my lift on my EcoBoost in the backyard. I just really wish I would have thought about doing this beforehand, you know, because it's kind of like, you know, my kids are getting older, and I can't really always just like throw money at stuff like that anymore. It's kind of what I wish you guys would have, I would have thought about it to bring you guys along. But you know, I never really even expected to like get where I'm at right now. You know, I'm only at, or where the channel's only at, you know, just under a couple hundred subscribers, and I honestly never even thought that I would get over 100. Like, especially with the channel name, it's kind of weird. Like, when people ask me what the channel is, and I tell them that Wide with Pride, you know, when I say that to people, I kind of think that people laugh at me when I tell them that, because they're like, Wide with Pride, like, you know, like, what's going on with you? And I'm just like, I really take pride in my truck and the people who run the offsets. And there's a different generation in the world now, and you know, when people see a truck and they see a 4-wheel drive pickup, they're like, why the hell do you have them stupid wide wheels on there? You can't, a pickup can't be used what like a pickup should be used for, with them wheels on there like that. You know, it's like, you know, you can do just about anything you want to do having a lift and wide wheels that you can on just a normal pickup. Like, you know, just like with Whistling Diesel, you know, that guy, like that guy still uses the truck for, you know, he was doing all kinds of crazy stuff with his trucks, and, you know, and his trucks were, Whistling Diesel, like, he was doing some crazy stuff with his pickup trucks, and every one of them, you know, they were all lifted and, you know, wide wheels, whatever. And I, you know, that's not really the point, you know, I'm not trying to compare anything to him, but it's a pretty cool truck. Damn, I lost track of what I was even talking about. Oh, the channel name. You know, it's kind of weird when I tell people that, and they just kind of, I don't know if people like take me serious or they just kind of laugh about it, but I feel like with the name of the channel, I wasn't going to get anywhere with it, because I feel like people were just going to kind of make fun of the name or bash me on it. But like I said, I really don't care. Like, I'm getting, you know, like, I have a YouTube family already started, and I have random people throughout the world that are, or throughout the states, that are referring my name to places. And you know, I have people in like New Hampshire, you know, Florida or Texas, you know, people that are like repping the brand and the merchandise and, you know, supporting me on it. And I love you guys for that. It just, you know, I got my little family, and I got you guys, and, you know, I just hope that you guys continue to support me, and I'm going to try my best to keep giving you guys the best content I can give you, but I want to keep uploading so that way you guys don't think that, you know, I'm just like giving up on it or whatever else. You know, I want to keep giving you guys stuff to watch, and, you know, whether it's like putting a lift or taking a lift off or doing turbo work or like, you know, just messing around, I want to continue to keep uploading to give you guys all that stuff. So I don't think, like, probably within like the next week, I'll probably upload this video here soon. You know, it's Sunday, it's like 4:50 or just before 5 right now. And I'm gonna try and upload this video tonight while we're doing some running around. And I don't think I'll probably upload here within like the next week after this, just because we gotta go get settled back in at our old house. And I own the house that we lived in. My brother was staying there for a little bit. You know, we're just gonna we're gonna go back into that house and just, you know, keep working and just keep driving to do our best, and hopefully everything works out still. So again, thank you guys for all your support and the new subscribers. I don't know who, I tried looking this guy up because he referred me through Custom Offsets. His name's Chad Peoples, and I don't know if he has his privacy blocked on YouTube. Like, sometimes I can see the name of the people who subscribe, and sometimes I can't. So like, if you're watching, Chad, thank you for referring, you know, our name at the who sent you in the checkout at Custom Offsets. You know, that really helps the channel, and it makes me real happy to see that. So I'm not sure what you bought, but if you're watching, maybe comment below, let me know what you guys bought, and I'd like to see it, you know, see what you got. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. It's kind of a long one, just me talking.